Breaking news! The week is off to a hot start, and we have something important to share with you. The Denver Broncos may be quietly cooking up something intriguing behind the scenes when it comes to boosting their wide receiver core, especially with quarterback Bo Nix set to take the reins. I'll tell you everything that's going on in a moment. But first, make sure you've hit the like button if you agree that the Denver Broncos are one of the teams that will make it to Super Bowl 60. If possible, comment like this: "Go Broncos! Let's go all out!" Now, pay attention to this. While the team flirted with high-profile names like Cooper Kupp and Stephon Diggs, it's now clear that those dreams have been dashed either by sky-high prices or better fits elsewhere. Kupp ended up with the Seahawks, confirming previous speculation. Diggs? He's making more than $21 million per year over the next 3 seasons, not exactly a bargain that Denver's front office is looking for in its current strategic phase. Now, with free agency winding down and prices starting to drop, there's renewed speculation about 2 interesting names still on the market: Keenan Allen and Elijah Moore. These aren't just random suggestions. Mike Kliss, a well-respected insider for 9 News, mentioned both as potential targets for Denver. That's got Broncos fans talking, especially given the need to build a solid support system around Bo Nix without disrupting the youth movement already in place. Keenan Allen, a seasoned veteran and longtime thorn in Denver's side as a Charger, spent last season with the Bears. And while it wasn't his flashiest campaign, the blame seems to rest more on Chicago's turbulent coaching carousel than on Allen's aging body. Even with all the chaos, Allen still managed over 100 receptions, 1,200 yards, and 7 touchdowns, and that was in just 13 games. Sure, he's not a 17-game guy anymore. But if you're telling me he can still produce like that and come in at around $10 million on a 1-year deal, that's a very tempting proposition. At that price, you're not expecting Keenan Allen to turn back into a top 5 receiver. You're expecting him to bring veteran savvy, route running precision, and depth to a young receiver room that's still finding its identity. And here's where the conversation gets real. Because as much as some fans might want a blockbuster receiver signing, the Broncos don't actually need one to feel confident in their receiving core. You've got Courtland Sutton, who had a 1,000-yard, 8-touchdown season in 2024. You've got the emerging talents of Marvin Mims and Troy Franklin, who are still early in their careers but have shown real flashes. Devin Vale is in the mix too. That's not a lineup of washed-up veterans. That's a group with upside, with youth, with potential. So how does Keenan Allen fit? Think of him less as a savior and more as a supplement, not someone to steal snaps from Mims or Franklin, but someone who can bring stability, especially if someone goes down or struggles to develop. He's not running deep go routes anymore, but he's still got enough left to win underneath, work the sidelines, and be that extra X receiver Denver could really use. But let's say the Broncos decide to pass on Allen. There's another name that's quietly generating buzz: Elijah Moore. Now, this one's interesting. Moore's still just 25, and despite being drafted in the 2nd round back in 2021, he's had a rocky NFL career so far. He's bounced from the Jets to the Browns, putting up modest numbers along the way: 200 catches, just over 2,100 yards, and 9 touchdowns in 4 seasons. That's okay. Not what you'd hope for from a 2nd rounder. But sometimes, production doesn't tell the whole story. With Moore, the key might just be fit. In Cleveland, they tried turning him into a gadget guy, lining him up in the backfield, trying all sorts of experimental roles. None of it really stuck. It was like they couldn't figure out whether to make him a full-time receiver or a utility weapon. And while he's got speed, he's not built to be your standard sideline boxing, 50-50 ball wide out either. So what if he lands in a system that actually knows how to use him? Enter Sean Payton. This is where things start to get compelling. Payton has a long history of maximizing talent, especially in players who weren't first-round draft picks or splashy free agents. You give him a versatile, fast, still developing player like Moore, and it's not hard to imagine a resurgence. Moore has shown the ability to get open, over 100 targets in each of the last 2 seasons, and while his touchdowns have been few and far between, that might be more about usage than ability. In the right hands, he could become a very valuable asset, and value is the name of the game here. If Moore could be had on a 1-year deal for around $6 million, that's a no-brainer kind of risk. It doesn't block Mims or Franklin from developing. It adds speed, adds depth, and potentially gives Bo Nix another dynamic weapon to work with, one that Sean Payton can tailor to his system. So now the question goes to Broncos country: do you want the team to go get another wide receiver? Do you see someone like Keenan Allen as a helpful veteran presence? Or does bringing in a guy like Elijah Moore make more sense as a low-cost, high-upside addition? Or maybe you believe in the young guys and think no moves are needed at all. Let us know what you think in the comments. Would you roll the dice on a proven vet or a misused young talent? Or are we already set with Sutton, Mims, Franklin, and Vale? Drop your thoughts. I want to hear from every corner of Broncos country. And let's not overlook how all of this ties back to the most important piece of the puzzle, Bo Nix. Whether or not you believe he should be starting week 1, the reality is Denver is setting up for a transition at quarterback, and the surrounding pieces are going to define just how smooth that transition is. It's easy to say, let the rookie develop, but without the right weapons, especially ones who can run clean routes and create separation early in the snap, you're putting that young QB in a position to fail before he even gets started. That's why names like Allen and Moore matter. You're not chasing Pro Bowl pasts. You're looking for specific traits that support the quarterback you're developing. Keenan Allen, even at 31, is still one of the best at finding the soft spot in the zone and providing a reliable target when things break down. That's invaluable for a rookie quarterback who might not always go through his progressions cleanly or who might hold the ball a beat too long. Allen's presence could be that safety net, not as flashy as a deep ball burner, but as effective as anything when you need to move the chains on 3rd and 6. Elijah Moore, meanwhile, gives you something different. You want to stretch the field horizontally? You want to line up trips on one side, sneak more across the formation and get the ball to him in space? That's where he shines. His speed and agility bring a dimension that forces defenses to account for him, even if he's not getting 10 targets a game. And for Bo Nix, who was known in college for his ability to improvise and make plays on the move, having a guy like Moore who can adjust on the fly and turn a broken play into a big gain could be a game changer. Now, zooming out just a bit, this entire conversation underscores the evolution of Denver's roster-building philosophy. We're no longer in the splashy, big-name free agent era. Gone are the days of trading everything for Russell Wilson or throwing bags of cash to patch holes overnight. This front office, this coaching staff, they're playing the long game now. They're building something sustainable, something that isn't about headlines in March but wins in November and December. And part of that strategy is knowing when to be aggressive and when to be patient. Right now, patience seems to be winning out, but that doesn't mean the Broncos won't strike if the price is right. Both Allen and Moore could still be in play, but it'll be on Denver's terms. No overpays, no panic moves, just smart, calculated decisions. And if neither ends up in orange and blue, that tells us something too. It tells us that the team believes in what they've got, that they believe Cortland Sutton still has gas in the tank, that Marvin Mims is ready for a breakout, that Troy Franklin and Devin Vale are worth betting on, and that Bo Nix will have enough support to do what he needs to do as a rookie quarterback, manage games, develop chemistry, and grow into the leader Denver hopes he can become. At the end of the day, the wide receiver conversation is really a microcosm of the entire offseason. This team is trying to thread a needle, compete in the present while building for the future. And whether they pull the trigger on a veteran like Keenan Allen or a young project like Elijah Moore will reveal just how they see themselves right now. So now it's your turn, Broncos country. What do you want to see happen? Do you want George Payton and Sean Payton to add one more weapon before camp opens up? Or are you all in on the youth movement, ready to roll with what we've got and let the chips fall where they may? Sound off in the comments. Let's get the conversation going. Should the Broncos add Keenan Allen or Elijah Moore? Or should they stand pat and bet on the guys already in the room? I'll be watching your takes. Let's ride.